Welcome everyone to the first video on MOTOBOB Vlogs, my new side hustle. I thought I'd just get out on the Trident today on a few of my favorite local roads and just introduce the channel, tell you about what you're gonna get if you subscribe here, and a bit of background about why I've done it. Essentially, this is just gonna be a moto vlogging channel, so I want to feature more of the bikes actually on the road, less editing as well, just more like unedited riding footage so you can see where I'm riding, see the road more rather than cutting back and forth between the cameras. And also, you know, just a bit more of a casual, laid back presenting style. Because ultimately I'm out riding a lot of the time, even if I'm not creating content directly. You know, I need to get out on the bikes to review them, to get to know them. And oh god, there's loads of traffic here. So yeah, I wanted to make better use of the time basically on the road by starting a pure moto vlogging channel where I can feature more of this content. Is it clear? Now look, the thing is with moto vlogs, so this kind of content where you've got the GoPro running, you're on the road, you've got the mic in your helmet, is that everybody says they want to see more of it on the channel. You know, I do a lot of the voiceover news type videos. I do increasingly, since I've gone full time on YouTube and I'm able to get out and about in the day anyway, you know, increasingly I'm doing those videos where I'm actually with the bike, be that at a dealer and talking about it, or at a manufacturer, could be a launch or something. But people keep saying, can you post more on the bike? And I even ran a poll on the community tab the other day where I asked what people wanted to see more of, what kinds of videos, and I tried to keep it unbiased by listing a few different you know, genres of motorcycle videos. So more of the voiceover news stuff, which basically I think everyone has enough of. I've satisfied that need certainly over the last year. More list videos, more of the stuff with the bikes, and then more of this moto vlog stuff. And it was the top answer. People want to see more of me out riding. Which is fine, you know, now that I'm full-time, I'm not making the videos in the evening and around my day job, so I can get out and ride. But the problem for me is that whenever I post content like this, be that like a dedicated video or as a segment of one of my reviews or something like that, I found that it doesn't perform that well. So what people say they want to see and what people actually, you know, how they behave when they're actually watching the videos are two different things. Perhaps there's a difference between the more invested viewers and the people who watch regularly, and those who are really into motorbikes probably want to see more detailed riding videos. But you know, the effect is really quite pronounced. Whether it's a separate video or as part of a review where I cut in some moto vlogging, you know, those entire videos don't tend to do as well. And if you look at the audience retention, so all YouTubers get access to YouTube analytics where you can see which videos are working well and also which parts of the video, where people are staying and where people are dropping off and going and watching something else. And yeah, if you take 3 or 4 of the most recent videos, stuff like the Rocket 3 GT, Harley Livewire, Honda CB1000R Black Edition, they start in my garage, talking about the bike, cutting away to B-roll and nice pretty shots of it. But you know, I don't want to just give specs, I want to show what it's actually like to ride. So I cut to this style of video, and you can see in the analytics that immediately everyone stops watching. Or not everyone, but a lot of people. And the problem is it starts to kill the videos in the algorithm. So let's say someone who is usually interested in electric motorcycles, but they don't subscribe to my channel, and I publish a Livewire video, and first it shows it to my subscribers, and perhaps it's a particularly long moto vlog, And all my subscribers stop watching like a quarter of the way through where the motovlog starts. And so the general retention of that video looks pretty bad. Now, even if someone's normally interested in the live wire, because it looks like the video is of a poor quality, it doesn't really keep hold of the viewers, it might not even get shown to them. I mean, that's a very simplified way to look at it, but basically how your video performs with your subscribers and the first wave of viewers tends to dictate how it'll then go on to perform with like wider audiences, new subscribers, potentially people who are just generally interested in that kind of video or that topic. So my thinking is obviously that if I put them on a separate channel, if it's only the people here subscribed that like this kind of content, then generally the retention will be better, and then hopefully these videos will go out to more people who like the bikes and the roads and whatever I'm talking about. So that's the thinking, split this out as a separate channel. I mean, the other thing is I always like to have a little side hustle on the go, so it's nice to have something apart from the main channel where I can start to experiment a bit. I know that like motovlogging isn't necessarily like the most cutting edge new idea, but it does give me a different place to try out topics and themes and ideas, and if they go well, maybe I'll produce them more heavily, put more filming into it, start scripting them, doing voiceovers. All that stuff takes time, whereas just jumping on your bike can be a bit quicker and try out fresh ideas. And the other thing as well is, like, if you look at someone like Chase on Two Wheels, his main channel got demonetized a while back, so that cut off a bunch of revenue, and then he started a second channel, so he's still got a voice with his main subscribers if that happens. I think actually it wasn't just demonetized, I think the whole channel went down. And also you've got a second revenue stream, although of course you've got to be building revenue streams outside of YouTube as well, but splitting your views across a couple of channels can't be a bad thing either, you know? It's nice as well to be able to ride some of these roads like that and not have to talk over it so much, because, you know, that gives you a good impression of the sensation of riding these bikes. If you can hear the engine working, if you can see what I'm doing, I just feel like that's a big part of it. It's not necessarily like super punchy and exciting, but for those of you who are interested in where I'm riding, who are interested in the subtleties of the bike, also riding tips for me. I know, like, I'm not that good at riding. I've been doing an office job, a day job for ages, and I'm relatively late to riding, so I don't mind if people want to watch it and say, that was a bit shit, or you should have had your eye on that car that was pulling out, or you went a bit wide there, or you're turning in too early or too late. All that stuff, more than welcome. This is simultaneously the best and worst of motovlogging, because on the one hand, I'm just sat behind a van doing nothing, which is super boring. On the other, he almost backed into me, and those are the bits of my motovlogs in my reviews that people actually do go back and watch. So I was talking about the CB1000R review, the black edition. The motovlog performed fine for that, pretty standard to see it perform less well than the bit where I'm actually talking about the bike. Apart from when I nearly ran over a pheasant, people like that skip back to look at it, and everyone's commenting saying like, it looks like a tiny dinosaur, or you know, it could have been dinner. And then later in the vlog, I hit a patch of salt in the middle of the road. I think the gritting truck had just been round, and I middled it. I didn't see it there, and the bike kicked like that, and I was concentrating on talking, so it took me by surprise, and I was like, oh, you know, making a drama of it. And again, people skipped back and watched it. So there are little bits and bobs that pop up like that people seem to like. I think the real world nature of the riding, the things that can happen out on the road, but ultimately I can't be riding around trying to manufacture that stuff to make the videos more engaging for people. And also, like, that's been done, hasn't it? Royal Jordanian's done plenty of those kinds of videos. It might seem like I'm working the gears quite a lot there, but the Trident does rev out quicker than you think it's going to. They gave it a short ratio in first, second, third, fourth to make it punchy, you know, away from the line in town traffic. Even though it's only 80 horsepower, it picks up quickly. But it does mean that compared to something like a street triple where it goes on to 12,000 revs anyway, and this produces its peak at 10, and also those shorter ratios, you kind of are up and down the gears quite a lot in those, you know, 40, 50 mile an hour bends. And I like that about it. I feel like I'm doing something, you know, I'm not just riding it in second on and off the throttle like an electric bike. You actually got to work it a bit. Love this bike, still absolutely loving it. I even did a back-to-back ride with the Street Triple RS for a YouTube video for my other channel where I compare the merits of the two, and it is far superior, the Street Triple, in many ways. There's more power, better equipment, the riding position's sportier, but do I have more fun on it? I don't know, in some situations yes, but on certain roads, especially if you're wanting to keep it reasonable in terms of speed, I think there's a lot of fun to be had on a budget bike like this. In fact, that might be a topic for future video, maybe 5 reasons to buy the budget bike. I mean, one of them's kind of obvious, it's cheaper, but the other 4, anyway, I'd love to hear suggestions for the other types of video you'd like to see here, other topics. It doesn't have to just be the bikes. I'll try and feature, you know, I've got the Urban GS at the moment. I'm going to do a head-to-head with a 1200 Scrambler tomorrow, so I'll probably do a video for both channels. Tiger 900, I'm hoping to get over to Wales on Friday, just for like a day adventure. You know, that's all we can do at the moment, really. But I think that'll still make a neat vid, and if there's a particularly scenic road, then a motovlog might be in order. But as for, you know, other stuff, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Thanks for watching. I'm not even going to do a premeditated outro. I'm just going to let the video tail out. I'll probably put the end credits up now, because this is informal. It's real world, real life. Oop. Yeah, you didn't see that.